Hey guys, Kless here. I'm going to show you another Unicorn Overlord unit guide. This unit I use to roll over all of Bastorias, and it only requires level 25. One of the best parts about this unit is that all of the items can be obtained prior to getting to Bastorias, which allows you to get this unit online right away and roll through the region. One of my favorite parts about this squad is that I was able to design it without using any of the items or characters from some of the previous guides you may have seen from me. This allowed me to just add to my lineup of really powerful squads as I move further and further into it. When you start fighting some of the bestial units in Bastorias like the Werbears, or as I like to call them, man-bear pigs, you're going to need some significant armor breaking capabilities to go along with all that defense. So let's get into the details and I'll show you how it functions, and then we can see how it fares against all different types of enemies. So let's take a look at the details of how this unit really functions. This unit is going to be designed around the Millennium Scepter, which is available for 30 Divine Shards prior to getting to the Bastorias region. This is the only limited item that this squad requires. Everything else is relatively easy to obtain and low budget. So how does it work? Well, we're going to use the Millennium Scepter on a witch with our quick cast, which is obtained at level 25. This is going to activate at the start of battle. It's going to make her immediately charge up that Trinity Rain. On top of that, we're also going to give her the Eagle Eye, which gives her True Strike. Now, in order to obtain this, we're going to need a Carnelian Pendant for +1 AP. We're going to need a Lapis Pendant to give us the PP needed for Eagle Eye and Quick Cast. And finally, we're going to use the Sniper's Lens to provide that Eagle Eye skill to make the Trinity Rain a True Strike so that it crushes all types of enemies. For my action priorities, pretty simple here. You're just going to set Trinity Rain to number 1. I set some backup actions as there are a few encounters I noticed where I got dispelled for my quick cast and wasn't able to get the Trinity Rain off right away. In the event that you somehow lose that AP, there's some extra skills that you can use. So now let's take a look at Virginia. I used her to clean up anything that doesn't die from the Trinity Rain. Virginia can chew through any of the high armor, high HP units that might survive that Trinity Rain. I gave her the Zenorin's Night Sword, gives her max HP 15, physical defense, magic defense, really high good base attack. The Blessed Round Shield gives her a little extra healing when she uses an active skill, gives her a little bit extra HP as well, and a decently high guard rate and physical defense. The Azure Crest Shield gives her extra PP. And finally, the Vengeful Impetus skill gives her the ability to generate AP every time she's attacked. If you don't have this item yet, as it's obtained about a third of the way into Bastorias, you can substitute it out for the Druid's Robes or even the Citadel Sabatons to help generate that extra AP. I found that this item is a better upgrade and it's more reliable, but I believe you have to get to about a third into Bastorias to be able to purchase it. So let's take a look at our two Meat Shield Legionnaires. I use Hodrick and Robert, who is a hired mercenary. Pretty low budget here. I used the Crimson Sarissa just for extra HP and guard rate. I'm not utilizing the skill. I went with the Bulwark Tower Shield as this skill can be very effective to negating extra physical damage. When you start fighting those werewolf enemies that start to dump a ton of physical damage on your front line, this is very effective. Cloth Gauntlets for some extra guard rate, and a Lapis Pendant for some more PP. I have row cover set to be used only on the back row to protect Yana and Sharon. And then the extra PP is going to prioritize the back row and only be used if we have 3 PP or more. I want to always make sure I can cover my back row. For Robert, General's Pike just for the base PP, very simple low budget item I had available. Steel Great Shield just for the high guard rate. Knight's Medallion for the defense and guard rate. And again, a Lapis Pendant for +1 PP. I'm going to use row protection on him to buff the physical defense of everybody else in the front row. I'm using row cover on Robert to, once again, only be used on my back row, as my front line does not need any extra protection. They're very self-sufficient, so all of this PP is going to be reserved for protecting any sort of onslaught on Sharon or Yana. Again, my only goal is to just have maximum defense until that True Strike Trinity Rain pops off. So now that we've broken down all of the units and all of the items, let's see what it looks like in combat.
If you don't mind.
Yana's going to open up with her quick cast, which allows her to act immediately. She gets her debuff removed. It takes away that minus 50% critical rate from the quick cast. A little bit of damage from Virginia with her armor piercing skills. Row protection for some increased physical defense. Bulwark to negate one physical attack for the row. Earthshaker targets my whole team. Back row is plenty protected. Another Earthshaker. Back row is again plenty protected. And even a third Earthshaker. Back row is plenty protected. So virtually no damage taken from 3 Earthshakers in a row. At this point, my unit is almost full HP. Some more follow-up damage from Virginia, and here comes the Trinity Rain. And now you'll see Virginia is sitting with 3 AP in reserve, and she'll just clean up anything that's left. So that's how you can take out a heavily armored unit with some pretty big AoE damage from those Warbears. So what about other types of units? Does it work against everything? Well, let's find out. This unit has very, very high physical damage on your front line if you don't cleanse the Shaman's debuff. So this is where all of those refreshes from Sharon really play a big role.
Your final steps draw near.
I shall protect you.
If I took refresh off of Sharon, that entire front row would get immediately deleted by these Wild Fang skills.
Easy there.
Another defensive
I
curse,
was worried there.
and another cleanse.
Take care of yourself.
And here comes the Trinity Rain. I like to go around to all of the forts in the region to demonstrate how versatile my unit comps really can be. These forts are designed to offer some pretty stiff challenges with all different types of enemies. So if your unit design can stand up to every single fort simultaneously, it's a pretty good unit for that region. Alright, so let's see how it holds up against a unit that has a ton of initiative and also a lot of debuffing as well.
You'll see no harm.
I've nothing to fear. I'll start. I was worried there. Any last... Take care of yourself.
Maybe you can protect us.
So we were able to withstand that early onslaught with plenty of layers of defense to once again get that Trinity Rain off. Now, I tested this unit in both daytime and nighttime because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't overly confident because the Bestrals were not buffed at nighttime, and it rolled over everything regardless of night or day. So let's take a look at this unit here. This is a very interesting interaction because this unit is going to cancel my initial quick cast on
I'll go
Yana.
first.
By removing my buff, she doesn't immediately charge up the Trinity
I
Rain.
am your shield.
So now we're going to have to wait a whole extra turn on Yana before we cast. So let's see what happens here.
No stopping us. Hey!
I'll cut you in two. final steps draw near.
So we finally got off the Trinity Rain to start charging.
One more push! They lie defeated.
I tested this unit every way that I could possibly think of. I took it around to every single fort, both in nighttime and daytime. I also took it through the recent main story quest, which was level 30 combatants, and I didn't lose a single unit. So this has been a pretty good test of how well this unit functions. With a Legionnaire as a leader, it also has really, really good protection against ranged assists. So even on the battlefield where there's a lot of assists and additional damage present, the unit functioned incredibly well. Well, that wraps up this guide, guys. If you found this useful, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel for more Unicorn Overlord unit guides, and good luck with your liberation.